Kia ora. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast. I'm your host, Helen Brahms, and this is podcast number 1799. Happy 4th of July. So welcome to our July 4th special. Hope you all had a super fantastic sparkling 4th of July for those celebrating. We've had a very quiet day today. It's been awesome. We got up, we went for a walk. It was hot. We came back. And we just basically decided, we went and sat outside for a little bit. I read for I think I lasted 3 minutes. Took my book out there and read for 3 minutes. And then we came back inside, but it has been a very, very warm day today. It was, I think the high was 115. Yeah, right now it's high was 113. My apologies. I got corrected by the program. For my metric people, that is 45 degrees Celsius. Yes, and it still is 45 degrees Celsius outside. So I'm trying to get Zeffy to put off going for a walk for at least another hour and a half to see if we can get the temperature down a bit, but I doubt it will get down that much anyway. Maybe a couple of degrees, but not much. So we ended up staying inside. We watched the movie Independence Day. I like that movie. I've always liked that movie. And I can't remember that. And I usually watch it on a 4th of July, but I didn't do that last year. And I'm trying to remember when was the last 4th of July. It might have been in the RV, which would have been the year before. But anyway, we watched it again tonight. It's always a good movie to watch. I enjoy it. Oh, hang on. I got to cross off 1799. We'll show 1800 tomorrow. Woo-wee. I'm going to come up with something cool for the 31st of July when we do show 1826, because that'll be the end of 5 years. Ooh, I have to figure out something for that one. Anyway, so we've just had a very quiet day. So my question to you is, what is your 4th of July traditions? I thought, what's some fun facts for the 4th of July? And since I have not been this is my first time on the computer today, I've had to look it up on my phone. Now I've got to go find where I looked it up. But there was just some interesting little tidbits about the 4th of July. And, where did it go? Hang on. I had one here that was really cool. Yeah, this one. So this one here, did you know that Benjamin Franklin was the oldest person to sign the Declaration of Independence? He was 70 years old when he signed it. And then if you go to the other end of the spectrum, the guy was only 26, and I've got to find his name because for some reason they put one fact at one end of the thing and the other one's further down. So now I've got to scroll down to see if I can find it. Edward Rutledge, was the youngest person to sign the Declaration of Independence. He was 26 years old. So but they said the average age was around 45. So you had Benjamin Franklin at 70, you had Edward Rutledge at 26, and then everybody else was around 45 when the Declaration of Independence was signed. There was actually only 2 people that signed it on the day. One was John Hancock, who wrote a very big, yes, we'll celebrate. Oh, yeah, let's celebrate. Hang on. What do I want? Yep, fireworks. There we go. We've got the fireworks going. This is my version of fireworks tonight. That's all. I don't know if anybody around here is going to be doing fireworks or not. I totally lost my train of thought. The signing of the Declaration of Independence was done by John Hancock, who did a very big signature on there. All the other ones are smaller compared to his. His stands out. He was the first one to sign. He wanted to make sure that the King of England knew, who happened to be George III, wanted to know. He wanted him to know that he was a signer of the thing. And I'm trying to remember who the other one was as well. There was another one, Charles something or other. So other interesting facts. Some of these are sort of like, you have got to be kidding me. Hang on, where did it go? There was only one president born on the 4th of July, which I keep remembering these facts popping into my head, and I'm like, well, what was his name? I think it was Coolidge. Hang on. This one was good. John Adams predicted Independence Day would be a huge celebration for many generations to come. In a letter he wrote to his wife, Abigail Adams, he declared that the day should be filled with games, sports, parades, and laughter. He basically planned the day for us. That's what the article says in here. Oh, yes. This one was quite disturbing. Americans consume a lot of hot dogs on July 4th. About 150 million hot dogs are consumed on July 4th. And according to the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council, I did not know there was such a council, Los Angeles residents alone consume about 30 million pounds of hot dogs on July 4th. And speaking of hot dogs, Nathan's famous 4th of July hot dog eating contest began over a century ago. The first unofficial contest took place on July 4th, 1916. And the contest, which began with 4 immigrants competing to determine who was the most patriotic, ended up becoming one of the most widely known 4th of July traditions in America. Yeah. Oh, here it is. Despite what you might have thought, only 2 men signed the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776. You can thank John Hancock and Charles Thompson for this one. The rest of the delegates signed in the weeks that followed. There are approximately 16,000 Independence fireworks displays that take place each year. Oh, that's a lot. And Americans spend over $1 billion in fireworks every 4th of July. Yeah. And in the first, let's see, it said that 4th of July wasn't an official holiday until almost 100 years after the Declaration of Independence was signed. It wasn't common to celebrate this patriotic event for the first few decades of America's independence. When it was established as an official holiday in 1870, it became one of the most popular non-religious celebrations in the United States. In 1776, there were only 2.5 million people living in the United States. That number is drastically different from the approximately 332 million people that live here today. Hospitals receive a surplus of patients on July 4th due to fireworks-related injuries. Yeah. In 2020, an estimated 15,600 people were hospitalized with injuries related to fireworks. Let's see. Oh, this was an interesting fact I did not know. The One World Trade Center in New York was designed to be 1,776 feet tall. Did you know that? The Liberty Bell hasn't been rung since 1846. And the last time the bell rang was Washington's birthday in February of 1846 when a major crack appeared in the bell. George Washington celebrated the 4th of July in 1778, even though he was at war. On July 4th in 1778, George Washington treated his U.S. soldiers to a double ration of rum and a cannon salute. It was once considered disrespectful to keep your business open on the 4th of July. Before the Civil War, people who kept their business open during the holiday were deemed unpatriotic. However, it became more acceptable after the war when store owners started holding patriotic 4th of July sales. So if you want to know how long 4th of July sales have been going on, there you go. Now, this is interesting. So if anybody is in the New England area, please let me know if this is correct, because this is one that's gotten here. It's tradition in New England to eat salmon on the 4th of July. Eating salmon and peas on Independence Day is a New England practice that dates back centuries. Many swear by the recipe and have made it a staple for the American holiday. Will this be something that you will cook for your 4th of July barbecue? Now, I love salmon. I never used to like salmon, but I absolutely love salmon now. But salmon and peas, I thought, well, that was kind of an interesting thing. I wonder how that one started. Let's see. Oh, here it is. There is only one U.S. president who was born on the 4th of July, and that's America's 30th president, Calvin Coolidge, was born on 4th of July, 1872. Yes, 1872. And then on July 4th, 1795, Paul Reeves and Sam Adams placed a time capsule under the Massachusetts State House in Boston. It was discovered more than 2 centuries later by workers fixing a leak. When state officials opened it, they discovered a pine tree shilling coin, a copper medal engraved with the image of George Washington, several newspapers, and a silver plate thought to be engraved by Paul Revere. How cool would that be to open up a time capsule? There are 31 towns in the U.S. that contain the word liberty. The largest town is Liberty, Missouri, with a population of around 32,865 people. Well, that's the end of that one. I thought there was another one in there that I wanted to read. Maybe that was on the other page I saw. Hang on. We're going to have to switch pages here. So as you can see, there's really cool facts about the 4th of July. Oh yeah, that was in the other one. Hang on, I got to go find the other one now. That was on. There's another one here, which was a really cool one. The first public 4th of July event at the White House took place in 1801. Thomas Jefferson was president, and according to the White House Association, the day was filled with music, food, and even horse racing. Horse racing at the White House. Let's see, what else have we got in here? Federal regulations specify that an American flag can only be flown from sunrise to sunset unless it is illuminated at night. Well, that was another one too. And technically, you are not supposed to wear American flags either. The flag code states that the flag should never be used as wearing apparel, bedding, or drapery. So there you go. You can always catch a ball game on July 4th. And this year, all 30 MLB teams will play on Independence Day. In the early years of the Republic, Independence Day was commemorated with speeches, parades, and other festivities. These events gave rise to the federal political party system with formalized venues and occasions for leaders and constituents to discuss issues. Where was that other one? Yeah, Americans spend close to $10 billion on the 4th of July food. Just for the 4th of July. That's according to Wallet Hub. $10 billion for one day. Well, be interesting to see. Now, that's for the 4th of July. So what would it be for Thanksgiving when you've got like turkey and apple pie and all of that sort of stuff? About 50 million Americans travel more than 50 miles from home during the holiday weekend, according to Wallet Hub data from 2023. And they say that's a new record. The oldest continuously running 4th of July parade is in Bristol, Rhode Island. It dates all the way back to 1785, according to the town's site. The longest parade is in Alameda, California. According to the town's website, the route spans 3.3 miles and takes folks about 2 hours to complete. That's a long parade. I've already done on that one. Massachusetts is the most expensive state for a barbecue. It is to get ingredients to host 10 people at $127, according to the most recently available data. Yeah. This was an interesting one. You know how when they fold the flag, they fold it into the triangle? And the American flag's traditional triangle fold is meant to evoke the three-cornered hat worn by George Washington and others in the Continental Army during the Revolutionary War. And they say Thomas Jefferson was the main author of the Declaration of Independence, and there were 4 others on the drafting: Roger Sherman, Benjamin Franklin, John Adams, and Robert Livingston. And I've totally lost the other one. There was another one in here which I thought was... Oops, hang on. I just changed the page. How did that get there? There was another interesting fact on here, and it was there were 3 presidents that died on the 4th of July. And I know that 2 of them died on the same day, and it was Thomas Jefferson and John Adams, I believe, that died on the same day of the same year. They died within hours of each other. And I thought I read it in here, and I can't remember who the 3rd president was, but he died on the 4th of July in a different year. Just trying to see if I can find it. Sorry, I'm scrolling through the scrolling through the article here. Actually, I'm gonna, since I haven't been on, I would have put it up on the computer. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Yeah, there are 3 presidents that died on July the 4th. On July 4th, 1831, James Monroe, the 5th president, died at the age of 73 at his son-in-law's home in New York City. He had been ill for some time, and newspapers had reported on Monroe's illness before his passing. And then Thomas Jefferson and John Adams also both died on July 4th, 1826, on the 50th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. So, I read something about that like a few years ago, and they died within hours of each other, and I can't remember which one went first. So, anyway, so those are just a few fun facts about the 4th of July. What fun facts do you know about the 4th of July? What family traditions do you have for the 4th of July? That you do on the 4th of July. How many of you are taking work off tomorrow to make it a 4-day weekend? I know, it's crazy. We just had a very, very, very quiet day today. It was awesome. And I'm going to see if I can put my pup off for another hour and 15 minutes before we go for a walk. It'll be just a little bit cooler. Yeah, this morning was hot and humid, and I didn't get up in time to, I was thinking, if I get up early enough, I can take Zephy for a walk, come back, and still have my front yard in the shade. And even though it's going to be hot, I can get the lawn mowed, get the weeds taken care of, spray the weeds, mow the lawns, and spray the weeds. And that didn't happen because we slept in. That's the problem. Now, here's the problem with summertime is that if we want to sleep in, it gets hotter the longer we sit. So at 5 o'clock, it might be like, 79 degrees, 80, whatever the overnight low is around 5, it's around that, around 5 o'clock in the morning in the 80s at this time of the year. And it's like, I just want to lay in just a little longer. But if I wait another hour, it's in the 90s. And I'm like, but in the wintertime, it's 33 degrees, 35 degrees Fahrenheit. For those in New Zealand, that's single digits. So it's a lot cooler. And so the longer you wait, the warmer it gets, which is meant to be a good thing in the wintertime. But in the summertime, it's not a good thing to wait. So we're going to try and get up early on Saturday and get a walk in around 5 o'clock in the morning and then come back. And of course, I don't want to disturb the neighbors. So around 6 o'clock, and believe me, you might think 6 o'clock is disturbing the neighbors. No, not in this neighborhood. I have heard people starting up circular saws, lawn mowers, weed trimmers, all sorts of noisy tools, gardening tools and garage tools, construction tools. We get a lot of construction people that will come in at 6 o'clock in the morning and work. When they wanted to put the solar panels in on my house, they wanted to start at like 6 o'clock in the morning. And I said, I'm not going to be home until 8, because that's when I was taking Zephy to the dog park, until she decided she didn't want to go anymore. And then I didn't up at 6 o'clock in the morning to get on my roof and start doing the thing. And I said, I will be there at 8 o'clock. They are not to ring the doorbell before then. So when did they ring it? At 7:35 in the morning. Oh, is it okay if we park our van over there? Really? You have specific instructions. And I felt like not answering the doorbell at all. But then they would be sitting out there waiting and knowing that I wasn't coming down the street. Yeah. They had watched us walk down the street and come into the house. And then they gave us 5 minutes and came and ring the doorbell. So, yeah, in the summertime, the earlier they start, the better, because then they're out of the heat of the day. They get a lot of stuff done out of the heat of the day. And you get a lot of landscapers, gardeners and stuff coming into the area that will start their stuff up around 6 o'clock in the morning. And they're done by lunchtime. they're out of the heat of the worst heat of the day. So, but my front yard at this time of the year will stay in shade till around 7. Starts getting sun on it around between 6:30 and 7. So I can get out there before get out there around 6. And my lawnmower is not electric. It's just a manual push mower. So it's just the whirring of the blades, and so it doesn't make that much noise. It's when I get the blowing thing out, the leaf blower thing out, or the weed whacker. If I get those out and start using those, that's a little more noise. But mine are battery operated, so they're not as noisy as those that are gas operated or electric. Which I don't think I've seen anybody using electric leaf blowers or that. They're all like gas powered ones. But yeah, mine's battery operated. So I only have the 2 batteries. I got to get more batteries because by the time I'm done with the weed whacking, there's not a lot of battery power left for the leaf blower, which means I then got to get the broom out to sweep the path outside. So I'm still working on that balance on how much trimming to do along the front on the footpath, and then get the leaf blower out and do the leaf blowing on the path. And then whatever battery power is left over, do the weed whacking on the back side of the lawn where it doesn't get onto the pavement. So anyway, it's a fine balancing act. But go out and have a super fantastic, sparkling, safe 4th of July. If you are drinking, please have a designated driver or call a Lyft or an Uber or a taxi. Have somebody else drive. Do not drive if you've been drinking, period. I don't care if you've had 1 glass. Don't drive. No, absolutely not. But anyway, I'm out of here. Go out, stay safe, have a super fantastic, sparkling 4th of July, and we'll catch you guys back.